So he notes that, it's on page 34, he notes that man has a capacity, in the Latin, it's called capax universi, and it means that we are capable of bringing the whole universe into our experience. So we can think about a huge amount of things. So again, just compare that to other levels of being. What can they put in their capacity? Well, very shallow things. Animals, very shallow things. But man has a capacity to see a to think about many more things at once and to see a much bigger picture of what's going on. And he, in the next page, he criticizes what he calls the fixed philosophy of materialism and materialistic scientism, which only wants to see what can be visible. And everything that is invisible, it denies as existing at all. That's that positivistic attitude of Max Planck, I think you said, that only what can be measured exists. And so that's why the behaviors, for example, the early psychologists would just simply ignore the mind. They ignored the will, and they merely study what is visible, and that is behavior. But we all know that it's possible to lie and be deceitful and to act differently than how we would normally want to act. And so behavior is not a method of determining like in order to predict future behavior, for example. It is not a method of understanding human behavior because it is not the driver of the human behavior. That is an invisible quality, and that is the will. He also talks about time and how we understand time, which again can be analyzed through levels of being. So the lowest level of being, of course, has no concept of time other than duration. Creatures with life only have sense experience. Creatures with consciousness only have present experience, except where the past is encoded in memory, and then that can be used to make decisions in the present. So yes, dogs remember things. Certain smells might trigger certain things, right? So yes, they have some kind of capacity of the past, but not really in an abstract sense, of course. Only in the sense that they can store the past in their memory. Now, what about human beings at the self-awareness level? We have the capacity to both think in the past and the future. We can predict future events, whereas merely conscious animals have a less ability to do that.